Please don't skip the advertisement for me. Your full commotion watchings motivates me to continue this series. Thank you. Hello, it is I, Dexter. Long time no see. Some of you already knew it, and some of you maybe not. I'm in the Czech Republic, so yeah, I just enjoy my travel and teaching Korean in the Czech Republic. And the reason why I'm making this video is one of my friend Anna is suffering from KIIP level 5. So yeah, I also wondering, am I continue the series or not? Maybe you already know that level 5 is not a matter of language, it's a matter of Korean cultures. Because you guys will going to take Korean permanent visa or naturalization as being a Korean person, has some Korean passport. Right, so it is not only language matter, but also culture and real life language matter. I'm going to help you a lot. So let's start the KIIP level 5. And one more thing is I'm not going to providing PDF file because it is illegal, but I will provide the URL, the address to buy the textbook. And I, as a teacher, highly recommend to buy one single textbook for your own studying. So, shall we start? So, shall we start? So, the first unit is the symbol of Korea. So 상징, so symbol is symbol. So think about it. And before we start the class, the object of this unit is 한국의 공식 국가명과 그 의미를 설명할 수 있다. So 공식 is official, 국가명, country's national's name and its meaning. So you should know what is the official Korean country's name and what is the meaning of it. And second object is 한국의 상징과 한글의 특징을 성별할 수 있다. So 한국 is Korea, 상징 is symbol. So Korean symbol and the characteristic of Korean letters. So look at here on your textbook, there are many 상징, symbols, right? So this one is the Korean flower, national flag, and this is Korean dog, 진돗개, and so on. So yeah, think about what is the symbol of South Korea. And here, we Koreans say 상징, 상징. It is symbol, but I think it is time to think about the Sino letters, the Chinese letter. We say 한자, 한자. Because the Korean letter is almost about 80% composed of Chinese letter, based on Chinese letter. But funny thing is we Korean use original traditional Chinese letter, but Chinese they use simplified one, and Japanese also they use more simplified one. But one clear thing is those three countries, and maybe some Vietnamese also based on Chinese letter. So what I want to say is 상징, 상징. So if you look at here, the Sino letter, 상, it is, sometimes it is the elephant, but it is the shape. So 상징, symbol, means there is certain shape and how we carry it. So this is based on neighbor, 우리말 셈. So 추상적인 개념, abstract concept or things, 구체적인 사물로 나타냄. So there is abstract concept, but we experience, we call it to the concrete things. So that is 상징. So here 상이어 is hypernym and 하위어 is undernym or hyponym, and the 비슷한 말 is a synonym. So yeah, it is time to think or reflect or watch the dictionary. I mean Korean dictionary rather than Korean English dictionary. So it would be helpful to you guys. So what is the symbol of Korea? So think about it. And maybe I think the passport is the best way to symbolize the Korea. So if you look at here, this is my passport, and I'm proud that I'm from the Busan. So yeah, this passport is quite different from other person's passport because I'm special Korean teacher Dexter. No, it's a joking. So it is just cover. So but same. So because I'm always proud that I'm the citizen of Busan anyway. So yeah, that one. But yeah, your textbook passport and my passport is quite different because my one is old one, but from this year we changed the new passport. But I'm old enough, so maybe I'm here in Czech Republic. But when I back to Korea, I try to change my passport. So what is these symbols anyway? Here is 태극 mark, and here is the flower of 무궁화, and the name is Republic of Korea. We say 대한민국. So yeah, in the passport and in the back side of passport, what else? There's nothing. So yeah, compare it because this is old style, but there is new trend of passport. I like it. And also on the front page, there is this symbol. So look at the textbook together. So there is some symbols, Korean hanbok. So on this unit, you should focus on the official name of Korea and the meaning. And 국 is a country, so 국기 is flag, 국화 is a national flower, 국가 is a national song, and 문장 is a symbol, but more exact English is Christ. So yeah, here there are so many kind of the uncommon use of signal letters in Korea, but it is the same as I'm not sure about all the language, but at least in English, they on purpose at some point use French word. For example, in the novel, there is the resolution of the novel, but the people say denouement. It is the French word. Like that, we all Korean some point want to use the signal letter rather than just pure Korean letter. So anyway, 문장 is this Christ. And my pronunciation is right. I'm not sure about it. And the false is characteristic of Korean letters. So here, what is the difference between Korean letter and Korean language? So one of that is so scientific and one of them is never scientific. So think about it. Which letter, language is scientific one? So after this video end, you should answer the blank here. So again, thanks to you, because when I prepared this video, I saw that question item and some of it, I don't know what the is it. So a little bit shame about it, but that's reality. So 한국의 공식 국가명은, so official country name of South Korea is here. 대한민국 is official name. 한국의 국기 national flag 태극기에는 what is the meaning in our flag? Maybe harmony or something else. I'm not sure about it. And the third one, 한국의 국가 national song. So 가, like a singer, we say 가수. So that's same signal letter. 가수, 국가 national song은 애국가라고 불리는데, so-called 애국가, this song, 블라블라를 사랑하는 마음, 사랑 is love, 마음 is heart, so 나라를 or 국가를, country, nation을 사랑하는 마음을 담은 노래는 의미를 가진다. That is the easy one. And the second one, 한국을 상징하는 꽃 is flower, so 국화는 무궁화. So look at here, on the border side, this one is 무궁화. We are going to learning about it. And 한국의 국가 문장. Here, 문장, the first meaning of 문장 is sentence. But here, Korea's national sentence. No. We don't have any national sentence, but we have national crest. So Korean's crest is based on certain shape of what shape are Koreans crust are based on. So look at here. Maybe this is the national flower 무궁화, and this is maybe 태극, maybe. So let's check it out together. And the third one, 한국의 고유한, it's a special letter. 한글은 1443년 조선의 만들었다. Who made it? The Korean letter is King 세종. 세종대왕이 만들었다. 한글의 자음, consonant and 모음은 사람의 humans vocal code, that is 조음기관과 하늘, sky, 땅, land and person의 model by that shape. Because I know that because when I studied my master degree, I realized that certain sentence and 한글은 so consonant, 자음 14개와 모음, vowels 10개 모두 54개의 문자로 구성되어 있다. Yeah. So if you don't know, it is okay. I also didn't know that. So we could handle it out together. So are you ready? So the first is the official name of South Korea. So official name is 대한민국, and some people say 한국. It is okay. We say 한국. But the official name is 대한민국. Okay, so and some people say 남한 is a South Korea and 북한 is North Korea. And Korea Peninsula, we say 한반도. If someone call it 한반도 is North Korea, South Korea together, and someone say 남한 is only South Korea, and 북한 means just North Korea. And the official name of North Korea is 조선민주주의인민공화국. I don't know what is the English name, but so Joseon Dynasty 민주주의. 민주주의 is democratic. So North Korea, their official name has the name democratic. Joseon Democratic Civil Republic. Maybe, yeah, I hope someday North Korea has the democracy. 한국의 공식 is official country's name is 대한민국이다. The official name 대한민국은 국민 is a civilian person 모두. All civilian are 주인 is owner. So all civilians are owner's country. 나라라는 의미를 하며 so that would be the question answer. The meaning of the official name of 대한민국은 국민 모두가 주인이 되는 나라. So that is the question type of answer. So you should remember. 대한민국의 국가명을 줄여서 as short 한국이라고 한다. 한자, the sign or letter 대한 being something like that, and English is Republic Korea. So South Korea and North Korea, there is. So that is the official name of South Korea or Republic of Korea. And second one is a national flag. So even if to me so confusing because look at here, 국 is a country and the name is not 태국기, 태극. I'm not sure. Only me confusing about it. Sometimes I'm confusing the name of my country's name is 태국기 or 태극기. But this symbol is 태극. This thing. So name is 태극기, not 태국기. So Korea's national flag we say 태극기. 태극기는 흰색 바탕에. The background is white background and 빨강과 파랑의 태극 모양. So red, blue. This shape we say 태극 모양. 태극 모양이 중앙에 있고 그 주변에 the surrounding this one 검은색의 사괴가 있다. So white 흰색은 밝음 bright, pure peace를 나타낸다. 빨강, the red is 존귀, high value, 존귀를 파랑은 희망을. The blue is hope. And 빨강과 파랑이 합쳐진 태극은 조화로운 우주. Those are the harmonized universe. 사괴는 건곤감리. So 건 is sky, 곤 is land, 감 is water, 리 is fire. It's symbolized as nature's harmonized. It means. 이를 통해 태극기는 평화와 화합을 강조하고 있음을 알 수 있다. So, as a Korean, it is not that important, but to you, to take a test, at least those sentences, you have to remember. 평화, 화합. 평화 is a peace, 화합 is harmony. So, 국경일, national holiday or national anniversary day. We put the 태극기 in our front door or in the window. So confusing to me. Like, I guess in the class or cultural class, I need to draw the 태극기. So here is a lower and upper, lower and upper, down and up, and red and blue. And those black fire is the most confusing. So my method to remember that one is 0, 1, 2, 3. Again, 0, 1, 2, 3. So there is separate bar of 1. There is 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Like that way. But more educational way is 곤감리. So sky, land, water, fire. It's more recommendable to remember. But my version is 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'm not that good Korean. So here is how we put the flag. So this flag is just a normal one, but there is something sad anniversary day. We put it down about this length, this length, this length. So it is something sad anniversary days. So 5 national holiday and the Soldiers' Day and certain government day. It's a normal way, but when there is 현충일, the day for ancestor who died for country, and 국장기간 is a national funeral day, something like that. So something sad day, we put it down. So for the test matter, only 현충일, we put 조의. 조의 is the name of the lower flag. That's all. And here is pledge of allegiance. We put it like that way. So like in the Olympic game, if we got a gold medal, put your right hand on your heart. That is 국기에 대한, we say 경례.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of the champion.
Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez s'il vous plaît vous lever pour
애국가
de la championne.
태극기
So 국기에 대한 경례. Or this is the pledge of allegiance. 국기에 대한 맹세. We say 맹세 is more oath, but here the pledge of allegiance. So it changed. So when I was a kid and I was in the military service, we use that version, but nowadays we change it as this version. So it means in the previous version we used to say 조국 is homeland and 민족 is ethnic race. So here 자랑스러운, it is a grammatical matter. So 자랑스러운 is okay, but it's a colloquial language. But 자랑스러운 is more formal and written language. So it is nothing special. But we change it our homeland and ethnic race as freedom and justice. Here we change it. I don't know if it is good or not, but maybe the Korean trend want to change rather than focusing on the ethnic race and homeland, we want to focus more on freedom and justice. And Korean's national song is like a national anthem. We say 애국가. So here is have you ever heard about the 애인? It is lover. So 애 is a sign letter of love. Love country anthem, love country song. So Korean's national anthem, 나라마다 그 나라를 대표하는 노래인 국가. Each country has each country's representative song. It's a national anthem. 한국에서는 국가를 애국가라고 하는데, so here you need to remember 나라를 사랑하는 마음을 담은 노래. So that's the definition of 애국가. And it was composed in 1980s. 만들어진 애국가는 4절. So verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, verse 4. 4절로 구성되어 있다. But yeah, it's too simple definition of national anthem. This is the national anthem. So on our anthem, national anthem, there is things that Korean love too. So look at here. The first is 동해물. 동해 is East Sea. So bad Japanese say there is a Japanese sea, but we think East Sea, and it's a symbol of deep sea. So 동해물 and Baekdo Mountains, something like that. So I'm not going to dealing with all, but here what I want to say is the composer of 애국가. So this one is not in your test, but what I want to say is, for example, the Hangul, Korean letter, we proud of King Sejong, but how about the composer of this national anthem song? We need to proud of the person, but it is impossible because there is argument about the song 애국가. But look at here. So 작곡 is composer, and there is no writer. But there is a sentence. So there is a controversial issue. Who wrote the national anthem song? And it is furthermore going to more political matters. But more important thing is composer is 친일파. Have you ever heard about what is 친일파? 친 is 친구. 친구 is a friend. And 일 is 1일, 2일, 3일. 1, 2, 3. Or 일요일, 월요일, 화요일. Sunday, Monday. So many meaning. But here is Japan. So Japan friendly party. Maybe I like the Japan. I hate the Japan's politicians. I hate the Japanese the political matter. But still, I hate my country's politics. But I like the Japan. I want to be a friend of Japan. But I forgive the Japanese did, but I never forget what they did to me. Something like that. So the Korea has some historical matters with Japan. So 친일파, it means like a betrayer or a communist something. But they are not communists, but yeah, in kind of some kind of stigma. So when Japan invade us, just normal people, it is okay. They don't have power, but some elite people who has some power but betray Korean nationality and become friend of Japan, and they said it, something like that. And the composer of this song, at first he is not Japanese friendly, but when he leave to the Europe, he wrote the national anthem song for Japan. So yeah, that's the reality. But not in your test. You don't need to worry about it. But I hope my student at least know there is a controversial. So some people say we need to change the national anthem because the composer is Japan friendly person. He betrayed our nationality. So anyway, what I want to say is 친일파 is that there is a stigma effect in South Korea. Also in North Korea, so all Korea Peninsula, Hanbando, we have the stigma effect of Japanese friendly party or Japanese friendly person. That is 친일파. So anyway, the Korean national anthem is 애국가. A is love, so love country song. That is 애국가. That's all you need to know. And I hold on your interview of getting Korean civilian or Korean nationality, the question item is would you sing the all four version of 애국가, 동해 물과 백두산이, something like that. So yeah, it is your job because I memorize all, so I don't need to worry about it, but you should remember the meaning and the sentence of national anthem song in South Korea. I'm not sure about the North Korea has it or not. So next up is 화 is flower. So national flower, we say 무궁화. It means the forever blooming and after blooming never fall, the flower. So here I want to say a little language matter. So 벚꽃 is cherry blossom in the spring. cherry blossom이 핀다. The root base form is 피다. 꽃이 피다, blooming, and 꽃이 fall. Verb is 지다, sink, fall. The flower is fall, flower is sink, 꽃이 지다. So here 지다 has three meaning. One meaning is you carry, 등에 얹다, and second meaning is fall, sink. The moon and sun is falling down, sink. And the third one is you lose. So here is three using of the 지다. But when it comes to flower, you say 지다 as a fall. So national flower, if you look at here, this is the president over. There is a 무궁화, and look at here. There is 무궁화. It is the parliament, congressman's badge. There is 무궁화. And in our court, there is also 무궁화. So for your test, the Korean crest is composed of 무궁화 and 태극기. It is important to remember. So 무궁화와 태극기 모양을 기초로 하여 국가의 권위를 상징하는 국가 문장이 만들어졌으며, so our national crest is composed of 무궁화 and 태극기. So important document or the medal badge or president award certificate or passport, we use 무궁화 and 태극기. That's all for your test matter. So national flower. So here is the textbook definition of national flower, but it is quite different from what I learned in my elementary school and middle school. At that time, the reason why we select the 무궁화 as national flower, so we usually compare with the rose. So in the rose, there is a little ant, little insect, but in 무궁화, there are many insects. But the 무궁화 survive from that insects. So it is a metaphoric meaning. So maybe if the textbook use it in their official textbook, it could be a diplomatic issues. Like think about it. Who was our insects near around Korean Peninsula? Japan and China. And sorry, maybe if you are Chinese or Japanese, a little bit sorry to blame your country, but it is a historical fact. So 무궁화 has so many insects near around that flower, but that flower blooming, even though there is something, even if there is many bad insects who bite that flower, but if we use it in our official textbook, that could be a diplomatic matters, issues, or just my stupid Dexter's opinion. So in your textbook, we say 한국을 상징하는 the represent of flower is 무궁화다. 무궁화는 forever blooming and never sink has meaning. So for reality, 무궁화는 usually from June to October 사이에 매일 blooming 피우는데 나무 하나에서 one single tree about 2,000 flower is blooming. And 무궁화는 오래전부터 from long time ago 나라를 상징하는 꽃으로 사랑받았다. Being loved by national flower. 태극기 모양 사절 국가의 권위. So yeah, that's all. But the real Korean connotation is the reason why I put it the 무궁화 as a national flower is even if there are so many bad things near around our Korean peninsula, insects like Japan or China or wherever, even if the United States sometimes, but still we Korea blooming our flower. Sometimes, yeah, it is true, our Korean cultures now blooming, but in the official textbook, we cannot say like that. So anyway, and the last one is Korean's letters. So yeah, that is the most I like the part because I would love to learning about the language. But here, one thing I want to make distinguish is Korean language is 한국어, 한국어 we say, and Korean letter is Hangul. So even if I'm Korean, Korean language is not that scientific when it compared to English or Japanese or whatever Spanish. So, but one clear thing is Korean letter is super scientific, but Korean language it sucks. It's super difficult. I know that. But anyway, the Hangul. So here, the 문자 we say is letter characteristic of Korean language. So in 1993, King Sejong created. The reason is for the purpose of illiterate person. So here on your textbook, 세종대왕이 한글을 만들었다. But as a linguistician, we say 세종대왕이 한글을 창제했다. It is more natural for us. For example, does Edison make the vacuum tube or Edison invented the vacuum tube? Which one is more natural English? Edison made the vacuum tube or Edison invented? Edison created the vacuum tube. Which one is more natural? Same as it. The King Sejong, he invented, he created the Korean letter Hangul. But also King Sejong made the Hangul. It is okay, but in terms of linguistician, I want to make some little bit distinction about this made and invention. So 세종대왕이 한글을 만들었다. It's made. It is okay, but what I want to say, 세종대왕이 한글을 창제했다. It's more natural and more correct language, but in the textbook, maybe the textbook maker is not a linguistician, but about some, I don't know who made it, but anyway, 세종대왕이 한글을 만들었다. So to the student who study Korean language and culture, it is okay to use 만들었다. But level 5 is being a Korean citizen. So in our textbook, in the school, look at it. We never say 한글을 만들었다. Maybe elementary school kids, we say 세종대왕이 한글을 만들었어요. It may be possible. But more than high school, we say 세종대왕이 한글을 창제하셨다. It's more natural Korean. So 창제했다. And also the consonant, we say 자음. So 사람의 조음 기관을 본떠서 만들었다. Or 창제했다. So 본떠서, base form is 본뜨다. Be modeled on the person's vocal cord. So this one is the consonant is be modeled by human's vocal cord. So vocal cord here is the textbook. The answer say 발음 기관, but it isn't. What do you think about it? What is the difference between pronounce and articulate? So articulate organ is in here, but pronunciation organ. So pronounce. So 기관 is organ in your body. So what I want to say is we articulate the sound. There is a vocal cord in my body. It is articulatory. But the textbook say just pronounce. Pronunciation organ, pronounce organ is our ears. So yeah, can you catch the feeling what I want to say? It is time to articulate or specific, sophisticated your language in Korean. But if you are just level 1 and level 2, I just say 발음기가, it's okay. 발음 is a pronounce, but the Korean letters is modeled by humans' vocal cord, articulation phonetics. It's more exact language. So anyway, 사람의 조음 기관을 본떠서 만들었다. What I want to say is 조음 기관 is a correct language, but in your textbook, they are used the 발음 기관. I hate it, but yeah, that's also true. So almost all of people cannot distinguish the articulate and pronounce. But if you are native English speakers, you know the difference. It is similar, but totally different. Articulate and pronounce here, maybe. So what I want to say is 사람의 조음 기관 or 발음 기관을 본떠서 만들었다. That is a sentence you have to remember. 만들었다 or 창제했다. It's more exact language. And vowel also based on the sky is like this dot and the ground is this, person is this. So when you see the Korean vowels, usually this one or this one or this one alone. So sky, ground, person. So there is 14 consonant and 10 vowels. So you need to remember 14 and 10. 14 consonant, 10 vowels. So totally 24 letters. And here, 훈민정음 해례본. So book which explain the purpose of making Hangul. So purpose of making Hangul is making easy language learning for everyone. So funny thing is when King Sejong want to make and publish the Korean letters, royal people, they object to do that. They just worry about, because at that time, only noble, loyal people know the Chinese letter. Because it is super difficult, so not all person can learn the language easily. So funny thing is the loyal people have objection to make it. They are worried about all person literate the language. So here's the 해례본. There is a purpose. The books which reveals the purpose of making Korean language. And Hangul Korean Language Day is October 9th. It is Hangul. So again, the Korean letter. So Korean's special letter Hangul은 in 1943, Joseon Dynasty King Sejong이 만들었다, made it, but I want to say it's invented, 창제했다. 한글의 자음, the consonant of Korean's letter is 혀, is your tongue, 목 is neck, 입술 is your lips 등 발음 기관 is a pronunciation organ, but what I want to say is 조음 기관, articulatory organ 모양을. So the consonant is a vocal cord, vowel 모음은 sky, ground, person의 모양을 so modeled by, made it, 창제했다. Consonant this 14, vowel 10, totally 24 letters 조합하여 모든 글자, every letters we made it. So 글자를 만드는 원리, principle of the making letters is simple and scientific. 이어서 Korean letters are 배우기 쉽고 사용하기 편리하다는 평가를 받고 있다. Being assessed by it is easy to learn and use. Korean letter is yes, scientific, easy to run and use it. I agree. And also proud of my letter. But Korean language, but yeah, it's not in your test. So Korean want to hear that your Korean letter is so scientific. That is the truth. So 세종대왕이 King 세종 Scholar 함께 만든 책 book 훈민정음 해례본에는 한글을 만든 목적, the purpose of making 한글, so revealing the purpose 있는데 그것은 글을 읽을 줄 모르는 illiterate, cannot read the letter의 백성들이 the older person, usually the poor person, not the noble man, 쉽게 easily learned and used letter를 만드는 것이다. So the Hangul Day, October 9th, is 훈민정음 해례본이 만들어진 날. The day, the book, which revealed the purpose of making 한글. 한글날로 정해 기념하고 있다. So in the UNESCO, 이 책을 세계 기록 유산, they take it as heritage and all over the world, 문맹. 문 is a letter, 맹 is cannot see, blind. So 문맹 is illiterate, cannot read and write. 문맹을 없애는데 공이 큰, who has some 공이 큰 사람 단체에게 세종대왕상. There is a King Sejong Prize to eliminate, to erase the illiterate things. So at the beginning of class, there is answer. So 한국을 상징하는 꽃, 상징하는 represent. 꽃 is flower, so the question can be changed as 한국의 국화는. So here is the answer. I dealt with all, so it is your homework to memorize all. Thank you for watching my video, and if you have any question, feel free to write it down in the comment. I will answer it. And the more your interest, the more motivates to me make this video. So thank you for watching my video and see you next class. Bye bye.